Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, please continue to pray as I start my next Lego masterpiece. I'm going to make a periodic table with a visualization of how abundant each element is in the Earth's crust because I was working at a tutoring center. One of my students had a fancy periodic table that looked kind of like this, and it's what propelled me to get involved in my bismuth art career because I noticed how rare bismuth. Well, his periodic table didn't have abundance kind of pictures; it just had a number. But here we have it. So we mine. If these two cubes represent the amount of gold we mine only a tenth as much platinum. So I used a plate piece, which is considerably smaller. This is roughly how much mercury we mine. This piece actually is a little bit too big for thallium. We only mine 10 tons of thallium, but that was the smallest Lego piece I could find. With lead, it's this brick times 1,000. I kind of used a number here because otherwise this thing would just be towering. And only that much bismuth, if you can believe it, relative to how much, only 3 times as much bismuth than gold. And then I found the radioactive man to represent all the radioactive elements on the periodic table. And then obviously the atomic numbers and weights to as many decimal places as it will go. What I find really interesting is for lead, we have way fewer significant figures than for the other elements. And the reason for that is lead's weight actually depends on where you mine it from because lead is a product of radioactive decay. And so depending on the geology, I remember watching a forensics show one time that they could match bullets based on the different isotopes of lead in it, right? If we switch to bismuth ammunition, you might not be able to do that anymore because bismuth is almost a pure isotope, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show.